Have you ever found a pair of magical red shoes? What if those shoes made you dance, whether you wanted to or not? Tonight on Fantasy Gleam, we have a double adventure. Karen and her red shoes and the mystery of the 12 dancing princesses. 2 stories of magic, choices, and bravery. Sit close, listen with your heart, and let's begin. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a very cute girl named Karen. She lived in a small house with her mom and was very happy. She would ask her mom about everything she wanted to know. "Mom, what are those little lights in the sky?" "Those are stars." "Karen, everyone on Earth becomes a star and shines in the sky forever." Karen had just one toy, one dress, and a pair of wooden slippers for outside. The wooden slippers her mom made were not very comfy, but they were all she had. One day, Karen's mom got really sick, so Karen went to town to get medicine for her. On her way, she found a pair of shiny red shoes in a box by the road. The shoes sparkled so much that Karen had to take them home. "Look, Mommy, I found these by the road. Aren't they pretty? You should return them, Karen. They might belong to someone else. But if they had an owner, they wouldn't have left them there in the box. Maybe they dropped them by mistake. Then they shouldn't have lost them. I found them, so they are mine now. Sweetheart, listen to me. I can't buy you new shoes right now, but I don't want you to wear someone else's shoes just because of that. Please, promise me you won't wear those red shoes." Karen sadly promised her mom not to wear the red shoes and hid them under her bed. Months went by, and one day Karen came home and couldn't find her mom. She searched everywhere until she realized her mom had become a bright star. The next day, on her way to her mom's funeral, Karen wore those red shoes. Everyone at the funeral stared at Karen's shoes. How could she wear red shoes? That's so rude. But Karen didn't care because she loved her shoes. An old woman with a kind heart walked by the cemetery. This old woman found out that a little girl was now alone and wanted to take care of her. "Come with me, sweet girl. I will help you grow up to be successful and pretty." So Karen lived with the old woman for many years. "Karen, you have been wearing these shoes since your mother's funeral. It's time to take them off. They are very dirty." "No, I love my red shoes." "Oh, Karen, please don't be so stubborn. Change your shoes. I promise to buy you better ones." Karen didn't want to hurt the old woman who had been so nice to her. So she finally took off her red shoes and threw them away. Days went by until one day, while playing in her new room with her new clothes and toys, the old woman brought her a new pair of shoes. But Karen didn't like these shoes at all. "But they are blue. They are so ugly. I don't want them." For many years, Karen missed her red shoes. She grew into a beautiful young lady, but she still was very stubborn. Even when the old lady gave her gifts, she would say, "I don't want to wear this. But I made this for you. I won't eat this food. Make me French fries." "Just take a little bite, dear." The old woman felt sad when Karen left the table without eating. She made French fries and took them to Karen's room. At that moment, Karen was taking off her blue shoes. "Look, my things are so small now. I have grown up. Well, let's go buy you new clothes and shoes." So the old woman and Karen went to the store. "Oh, look, just like my favorite red shoes. I want them. Let's get these." "Karen, you don't need fancy red shoes. You need shoes that are respectful, like for a funeral. I can only buy you one pair. Let's get the black ones and go home. I am very tired." "I don't care. If you don't buy both pairs, I will walk barefoot everywhere." "Little girl, I wish you weren't so stubborn." The old woman bought black shoes for Karen and used her last money to also get her red sparkly shoes. They had to walk home. The old woman's feet hurt a lot, and she couldn't keep up with spoiled Karen. Karen didn't care. She walked home in her new red shoes. One day, the old woman told Karen they had to go to a funeral in town. "Karen, please wear your black shoes, or it will be disrespectful at the funeral." Karen looked at the black shoes in her room and then at the bright red ones. She decided to wear the red shoes. When they left the house, she hid them under her skirt so the old woman wouldn't see. But at the funeral, everyone noticed Karen's shoes shining under her skirt. They whispered about how disrespectful her red shoes were. When the old woman heard this, she got very angry. "You didn't listen to me and wore the red shoes again. You're so stubborn, Karen. Show some respect." A handsome young lord saw Karen and was amazed by her beauty. He came to her, knelt down, and said, "You are so beautiful and delicate in those lovely shoes. My lady, you make me blush. You must be a great dancer. I invite you to the dance at the palace tonight. Please come." Happy about the Lord's invitation, Karen started dancing with joy, but soon she couldn't stop dancing. "Why can't I stop my feet? What is happening?" Karen began to walk away from the old woman and the Lord while dancing. "Karen, come back." The Lord chased her, but he couldn't catch her. Karen's red shoes were more stubborn than she was. They took her to the top of a mountain and made her dance day and night for 3 days. Karen's feet hurt so much that she screamed with every step. Even though they got muddy and prickly needles stuck in them, the shoes kept dancing. "Enough! I'm really tired. I won't be so stubborn anymore. I promise. Please stop. Shoes, please stop. Stop." When Karen said she would stop being stubborn, the red shoes jumped off her feet, and Karen fell to the ground too. The red shoes kept dancing without her. Karen found a stick and limped home in pain. Her legs hurt a lot. She cried with happiness when she saw her house. The old woman at the door welcomed her. They hugged each other. "I know I was very stubborn, girl, but I promise I won't be like that again." After Karen stopped being stubborn, things started to get better. One day, someone knocked on the door. It was the young and handsome lord. "There you are, Karen. I tried to keep up, but you danced so fast. How did you do that?" Karen was happy to see the handsome young lord. That was the day when the Lord and Karen's love began. Leaving stubbornness behind, Karen lived a happy and peaceful life. Once upon a time, there was a king with 12 beautiful daughters. These 12 princesses lived together in a big, beautiful room. The king loved his daughters very much, and at night he did not let them go out. But every morning, something strange happened. The princesses' shoes were all worn out, as if they had danced all night long. The king had to buy new shoes for his daughters every day. But the next days, the shoes kept wearing out. Neither the king nor his men could figure out the mystery of the shoes. How is this possible? How can shoes wear out like that in just one night? Your Highness, we don't understand. Finally, the king said, "Whoever solves the mystery of my daughter's shoes will get to marry any daughter he chooses, become my son-in-law, and get to be the king when I pass away. But he has 3 days and 3 nights to figure it out. If he doesn't, he will be stuck in prison forever." Many young men from the kingdom, and even princes from other places, came to the castle for the chance. They stood by the door of the 12 princesses' bedroom for days. But after a while, none of them could solve the mystery, and the shoes kept getting worn out at night. Finally, a kind young man wanted to try too, so he went to the castle. On his way, he met a tall old lady who looked very poor. "My dear child, I'm very hungry. Could you please give me a piece of bread?" The young man gave her all the food he had in his bag. She was very happy because the other men who passed by didn't help her. The old woman knew this young man was different, so she gave him a magic cape. "Take this magic cape. When you wear it, you will be invisible. At midnight, put on the cape, be invisible, and go into the princess's room. This way, you can solve the mystery of the shoes. But be careful. Do not drink what the princesses offer you. Oh, those tricky princesses. The young man took the magic cape and went to the castle. When he got there, he said he was there to solve the mystery of the shoes. On the first day, while he was guarding the princess's room, the oldest princess came out with a glass of lemonade. "You must be thirsty. We made some lemonade for you. Please drink some." The young man forgot the old lady's warning and drank it. Soon he felt very sleepy. He fell asleep snoring all night in the room they had prepared for him. In the morning, the young man woke up in a panic. "I was supposed to wear the magic cape and go into the princess's room." On the second night, he stood guard again in front of the princess's room. This time, another princess came out with a glass of juice in her hand. The young man was very thirsty while he was watching and waiting for night to come. He thought he had drunk all the juice he was given. He fell asleep again. The next morning, he remembered what the old lady had said. "But be careful. Do not dream what the princesses give you. There must be something sleepy in the drinks the princesses give me." Just then, the king came over to him. "2 days have passed, and you still haven't figured out the mystery of the shoes. If you can't solve it today, you will go to prison and stay there forever." The king finished talking and walked away. The young man had to solve the mystery today. That night, he stood guard in front of the princess's door one last time. This time, the youngest princess came out holding orange shoes. But the young man was alert now. He took the glass and thanked the princess. When she left, he poured the orange juice into a pot beside him. This time, he stood tall. Night fell, and soon it was midnight. The young man put on his cape and became invisible. He slowly opened the door and couldn't believe his eyes. All the princesses were wearing their prettiest ball gowns, with their hair and makeup done, and their new shoes. Let's see if the young man at the door has fallen asleep. One princess opened the door and looked outside. Another princess put her ear against the wall. At that moment, the young man knew he had to make some snoring sounds. The oldest princess moved her bed and clapped her hands 3 times. A secret passage opened where the bed was. The young man couldn't believe what he saw. One by one, all the princesses walked inside. Of course, the young man followed them. The secret passage led to a stairway with hundreds of steps going down. As they went down the stairs, the young man accidentally stepped on one of the princess's skirts. "Oh no, someone stepped on my skirt. Oh, that's silly. It was probably you." After they finished going down the stairs, they entered a forest. They walked past tall trees with shiny silver branches. The young man picked a branch and kept following the princesses. After a long walk, they stopped by a river. In the river, there were 12 boats shaped like swans, and inside them were 12 princes waiting for the princesses. They climbed into the boats, and the young man got on the last one. The boat feels heavier than usual today. It's like another person is on it. That's strange. Oh, come on, stop daydreaming. When they crossed the river, they found a big shiny castle, and they could hear music from inside. When he peeked through the window, the young man saw many people dancing. As soon as they entered the castle, the princesses began to dance. They never seemed to get tired and just kept dancing. Of course, their shoes started to wear out. The young man couldn't stand his hunger anymore. So, he took a piece of cake from the table and started to eat. The youngest princess noticed this. "Hey, my cake. My cake is floating like someone invisible is eating it. Come on, stop with the silly talk." The young man quietly took a golden cup from the table. The princesses danced until morning. Then they got back on the boats, crossed the river, walked through the forest, climbed the long staircase, and finally returned to their castle. But their shoes were all worn out again. The young man was very happy that he had finally figured out the mystery of the worn-out shoes. A little later, the king came to the young man. "Your time is up for today. Did you solve the mystery of the shoes?" "Yes, Your Highness, I did." And he told him everything. At first, the king didn't trust him. But when the young man showed the king the silver branch from the woods and the golden cup from the bright castle, the king realized he was honest. So he kept his word and let him marry any princess he wanted. The young man chose to marry the youngest princess. The 12 dancing princesses were not happy because their secret was revealed. But the young man and the youngest princess got married and lived happily ever after. And that is the end of our stories. Thank you for listening to Karin and the Red Shoes Plus, the 12 dancing princesses on Fantasy Gleam. May you remember, true beauty comes from kindness and respect. Stubbornness may trap us. Humility can set us free. Secrets fade, but honesty and courage endure. Sometimes a heart that shares is more powerful than magic. If this story warmed your mind, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell me in the comments, which story did you love most, Karen's or the Dancing Princesses? Until next time, may your feet dance with joy and your heart shine bright.